Hello, welcome to the latest edition of Ragic Office Hour, and let's get started by doing a recap on our latest features. All right, let's take a look at one of our popular reporting features, and this is the reservation system. You'll be able to install this from the install templates right here. So this is administration is the meeting room manager. So you're able to like to manage meeting room or like equipment reservations in your organization, so that you can list the meeting rooms or the equipment here, and your team members will be able to use this kind of interface to decide like, oh, I would like to reserve this meeting room from like 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. Oh, let's just take a look at the actual report right here. So it looks like something like this, and they can go like reserve meeting room A from 10 o'clock and then 2 time slots like this. So this feature has been around for like for a few years, and recently we added the ability for you to add fields to this meeting room reservation, and it used to be that these are the fixed fields that you will be able to use for these meeting room reservations. And now we added the ability for SYSAdmins to go to their report settings, and you'll be able to add fields right here to add some custom fields that are from the meeting room sheets. Okay, so to explain how to understand how to add fields here, because you have to have a field that's available right here, right? So you can go to the meeting room sheets. So all reports are actually based on Ragic sheets. So the reports. So even though this looks like an app, but it's actually based on a Ragic sheet. So the data of this based on 2 sheets. One of them are the venues, and one of them are the booking details. So you can take a look at the venues right here. So the meeting rooms that you see right here, they are all from this venue sheet. So you were able to add venues right here, so that you have additional meeting rooms to book. And when you make a reservation, you're actually adding a booking details right here. So if you want to add extra fields to the meeting room reservation report, you should be adding fields to the booking details sheet first through design mode right here, like new field right here. And you'll be able to add this new field on the meeting room booking settings place. So you go to the show settings, and now you will be able to add a field by choosing the new field that we just chose. So we can create report, and when you make a reservation, you will be able to see the new field that you just entered, so that users will be able to add some comments according to like what kind of maybe you're managing things other than like meeting rooms, and maybe you're managing the reservation for equipment. So you will be able to add some comments. So like maybe what I'm going to use this room or room for, or where am I taking this equipment to. So this could be pretty useful for when managing meeting rooms or things other than meeting rooms, when you're using this as a general reservation system. Okay, let's go back to the questions. First question, value depend on other field value. Okay. Is it possible to make value of one column dependent on another column? For example, I have a data set L1 to L2, network ran, network core network infra, ISID software, ISID application, services, network and ISIDs are level 1 commodities, and RAN core infra software are level 2 commodities. They have a hierarchy of respective level 1 commodities. Now when I'm searching, I'm inserting a record. If I select network in first column, next column shortlist values by only RAM core infra to be selected. Okay, this is a pretty typical use of the cascaded selection feature. So I'm going to do a short demo on the cascaded selection field. So for example, if we're, let me create a new clean sheet for this. So you're managing network equipment, maybe just equipment. So if you're managing equipment, so let's say equipment ID, equipment name. Okay, so you're gonna manage the equipment types with cascaded types. Okay, so the first level would be like RAM, would be like network ISID. Okay, so we could have the major category here, major category, and the minor category. Okay, so for the major category, you could have like, what do we have? Network and ISIT, network and ISIT. Okay, so let's say we have these two major categories, and we go to the minor category, and we can set this as the cascaded selections for the major category. So we click on set cascaded selections here, and this minor category will be based on major category. So we will be able to set the minor categories for each of those options in the major categories. So for network, we could say we have RAM core infra, like RAM core infra. And for ISID, the software application service, software application services. Okay, so this is basically how you configure a cascaded selection. So when you're actually using the sheet, like you're adding like a router, and you will be able to select network, and you will be able to select the options that's under network. Like this is maybe something infra. So when you're adding equipment, and you'll be able to use these as, you know, major categories and the minor categories to have multiple hierarchies of your category fields. Okay, so basically you could use cascaded selection fields for this. Get a screenshot here. Use a set of cascaded selection fields for this type of hierarchy selection. Okay, and even if you have like a third level like minor category, like minor category. So you'll still be able to have it like cascade as many levels as you want. You could just like set a selection of the minor category, and you'll be able to cascade and add options for every single one of those minor categories. So it's not just limited to 2 levels. You'll be able to cascade as many levels as you need. Okay, next question, remove duplicates. I was thinking of importing some files over to a new sheet, but I would like to see if there's a way to remove duplicate records once all the records have been imported, similar to Excel's remove duplicates. This would be exceedingly helpful as I would not need to clean my data before imports. Well, Ragic is a database, it's not a spreadsheet, so it's generally a better idea to remove and clean your data before you do the imports. So honestly, I'm not extremely familiar with the Excel's remove duplicates feature, but no, but to my understanding, right now Ragic doesn't have the features for you to remove the duplicates after you import your data. So when you're actually importing your data, we are kind of doing the remove duplicates along the way when you're importing data, because when you're importing data from Excel or CSV files, the first column should be a unique key field that should be a unique key for your data. So this kind of serves as a step to remove the duplicates, because for the unique key field, and if you have data on your Excel sheet, like 2 rows of data that are duplicates and they have the same unique field, when you import those 2 rows, they're actually going to become 1 row, because the first one will be inserting the record, and the second one will be like updating the existing record, because this is kind of an upsert operation where it first searches for the database sheet for the same unique key, and if the unique key is found, it's going to update the existing record. If it's not found, then it's going to do the insert. So if the unique key field, the first column of your Excel sheet is configured correctly, and even if you have duplicates, then there are not going to be duplicates on the database. So it's kind of using this unique key to remove the duplicates, but we don't have an extra function on Ragic to actually do the remove duplicates after you do the imports, because that would be kind of like a mass removal, a way to mass remove the records. And right now we just don't have this feature. We have talked about adding a feature like that maybe in the future, but right now it would be a much better idea to clean your data before the imports and correctly use the first column of your Excel sheet as a unique key field to make sure that you don't have duplicates on your records. So right now we don't have the remove duplicates function like with Excel. So it's a better idea to clean the data before doing import. The first field of you're doing import, the first field of your Excel CSV file is the unique field value field, where it's used to identify if the row should be inserted or updated. This is a key place to remove duplicates during the import. If 2 rows of data on your Excel file are duplicates, having the same view. First column, then only one row will be created. The second time will just be an update. Okay. And we will think about, if we want to add something like remove duplicates, because it's kind of something that we notice that people would like to have, but still, when you're managing a database, it's just a really good idea to clean your data before you do the imports, because it's not a spreadsheet, it's an actual database. So it's usually a better idea to never create data in the database that's not intended to be intend to exist in your database at all, because they're gonna all have history, and they're all gonna have like a trail of audit, and so it's a record in the database is a lot heavier than a record on an Excel spreadsheet. So there are a lot of other overheads for records created on databases. Okay, next question. Ragic main page board. Okay. Report widgets from different Ragic tabs. Hello, Jeff and team. I have a question regarding the Ragic main page board. We were informed by the team and Jeff lately that we can customize our main page and add several stuff like report widgets. If I have 3 Ragic tabs, meaning 3 databases, okay, I'm assuming this is the tab you're referring to. And for each Ragic tab, I have created 1 report. So I have 3 reports. Can I add into my main page report widget from different Ragic database tabs? Okay. Yeah, I think you could do that. There's not much problem with that. Okay, so let me zoom out a little bit. So if you're adding multiple widgets, so basically you could just add multiple widgets like this. You can add as many widgets as you need, and you can just configure them independently. So you could say this is based on Ragic question sheet, and you can do all kinds of different configurations. And you could, this is from the employee demo, and this is from the service requests. So you will be able to add as many report widgets as you need. You could even add report widgets here, and they can be pointing to a different data sheet source, like from tickets or anything. So you will be able to add report widgets from any sheets, and they are across all different tabs. So as long as the sheet is on the same account, Ragic account, and if it's on the same account, you will be able to create report widgets with it. So there's no problem with this. And cancel. Back to the same. Okay. Thank you for your question. Yes, you can add multiple widgets from different Ragic database tabs without any problem. Can just add report widgets multiple times and choose them to use different data sources from sheets on different tabs. Yeah, and when you're choosing from different tabs, of course, you like from the last session, you will be able to configure different access rights for these. So when the user logs in, they're gonna only see the report widgets that they have that you have configured them to have access right to. All right, next question. When designing an XLSX template for mail merge function, how to properly design the repeating list with calculations like sales invoice or packing list? There are many quirks with the XLSX template system that makes it difficult to correctly design a functional sales invoice with sales items listed in the correct number of subtable lines with calculation columns like price subtotal, quantity times price, and invoice totals at the bottom. Well, one of the biggest thing about mail merge is that we've basically replaced it with the custom print function, custom print reports. So anytime you have a problem with the mail merge function, always look into the custom print reports to see if it's if to see if that your problem is resolved in the custom print report. And for the support of the subtables, the custom print report is actually much more powerful. You can have subtables even on Word templates. So you will be able to do a lot more with the subtables on the custom print report. So what I'm looking at is your subtable, and you're trying to do some calculations on this. Okay, so to answer your question, and first of all, on the mail merge reports, you will have to do on both the mail merge report and the custom print report, you will have to calculate the numbers like the subtotals, the quantity put times price on the Ragic sheet. So you have to have the actual numbers that you want to print on the report before the report is generated. So you should have all the things that should appear on the mail merge or custom print report on your Ragic sheet before you generate the report. So of course you should have the numbers ready. And I'm a little bit unsure about the question that you have with the subtables. Yeah, I guess it could be difficult to correctly design one, and I would suggest that you could look into our custom print report. So basically you could just go to our custom print report here, and you will be able to have more functions to design your template for a more customized print layout. So I would suggest that you take a look at the custom print report function to see how to, if your subtable printing problems are fixed in the custom print reports. So it's with a kind of a different syntax like this. So you should definitely take a look at the custom print report and see if the custom print report works better for you when generating those mail merge reports. The mail merge template system has been gradually replaced by the custom print report function. It has much better processing feature for subtables and Word document templates. Make sure you check on custom print port function if you run into any problem with mail merge. Okay, and let's take a look at the let me grab the documentation for you. Custom print. Yeah, with the subtables, it just has a more flexible syntax for describing these templates. See the documentations here. All right, custom print reports. And if you have any other questions, like if the problems, the difficulties that you're facing with the mail merge templates that are not resolved on the custom print report, feel free to ask another question and let me know kind of what the specific questions, what are the difficulties that you're actually facing when you're designing these kind of reports, and I can take a look at the custom print report and see if it has some features that could fix this. Because right now for these kind of report printing features, we're mostly focusing on the custom print reports. It's supposed to replace the mail merge functions, even though we're not gonna phase out mail merge completely, but our main focus will be on the custom print reports. So the new features, the improvements, they will be on the custom print reports in the future. All right, and that's it for the questions for today. And if you have any other questions, feel free to use the Ragic Office Hour question sheet to ask your questions, and I will be answering your questions in 2 weeks. And thank you and goodbye.